Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa ala. Again, we continue contemplating on the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and on the lessons that we learned from Hijrah. I think we reached, I don't know, lesson number, forget, I think 7 or 8. Now the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in Medina. You have a heterogeneous community. People from different backgrounds, linguistic, culture, tribe, religion, you name it. Okay? So we have people from all over coming in one place. We learned how brotherhood developed between the Muhajirin and the Ansar. And we gave an example of Sa'd ibn Rabi' and Abdurrahman ibn Auf radiyallahu anhuma and Sahabati ajma'in, and how they showed this very strong relationship of brotherhood. They didn't know each other's, they were not related to each other's. So a new community was developing to be established. Very unique. If you look at that time, no place on earth, such a community was developing. A new identity was developing. A new entity was emerging. And this entity or this identity was not based on tribal background, on linguistic background, on political affiliation, on cultural affiliation. It was based on Islam. Somebody would raise the question, even non-Muslims at that time, I say even non-Muslims at that time, because if the Medina community was complex, made a complicated community in comparison to Mecca. Mecca was homogeneous. Quraysh was there. They have one religion, idols around, they had their own business, everything was. In Medina, no. New challenges took place. And this is, we need to learn from the lessons that the Prophet how the Prophet ﷺ managed to deal with this community. It was different. Now he is the leader. He is in command. People are divided. The Ansar, the Aus and Khazraj were rivals to each other's, were waging wars against each other's, although they're very close to each other's. Okay? The Jews were subsidizing this war. Okay, we're maintaining it, we're supporting it. Okay? They will give money to those people to fight those people. So they buy weapons. They just like they do nowadays. They will give to another party, so you will fight those party. And they are really benefiting. And everybody was in debt to the Jews. And usury was taking place. You've got to know the system in Medina to realize how the Prophet ﷺ managed to deal with such a complicated system. So the Jews are there. Aus and Khazraj were there. Many of them were not Muslims. We have a new group of people called the hypocrites, al-munafiqun. They were not there in Mecca. In Mecca, either you're a Muslim or non-Muslim. Here, some people you don't know. They're Muslims in practice, but in belief they are not Muslims. You see how things are complicated? Mecca was homogeneous and everything was right. Here, no, we have people who are doing farming, people who do business. Everything. Things were moving in a very. So the Prophet ﷺ thought of getting those people together, because this deen works on unity. It doesn't work on the colonial perspective of divide to control, divide to conquer. No, unite to harmonize. Because the aim of Muhammad ﷺ was not to become the undisputed leader. So people will just, no, he was trying to bring an Imani community. A Muslim community may accommodate non-Muslim communities as well. Everybody was practicing his own way, religion. The hypocrites could have stayed non-Muslims. Nobody would force them. But they wanted to benefit from the new emerging state, okay? Financially, politically, you name it. And they, in their hearts, they don't belong to it. They don't belong to it. So the Prophet ﷺ brought all those together. تعالوا إلى كلمة سواء بيننا وبينكم. Come to a common word. Some came to Islam and they accepted Islam. Others who didn't accept Islam, the Prophet signed treaty, the first constitution in history, signed by the Prophet himself, to bring all those people together to a common aim: security of Medina, peace of Medina. Lakum dinukum waliyadin. You want to be a Jew? Continue to be a Jew, practice, but don't interfere in the affairs of the state. Don't collaborate with the enemies of the state. You do your business, fine. You want to follow your book, fine. But don't interfere with the... You want to be a polytheist, you don't want to become a Muslim, you worship your idols, continue doing that, it's up to you. We invite you. ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. We welcome you. We'll protect you. We'll protect you. We share a common goal, which is the security of Medina. Don't collaborate with the Qurayshis, with the enemies. Okay? We will not hurt you. Don't hurt the state. If you want us to help you, we'll help you. We will protect you. If anybody comes outside Medina, we protect you just like we protect ourselves. So this is a lesson that we learn from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which is uniting people around one aim, one constitution. We can be different, but we have common aims goals we achieve together. And this is something that we learn in this heterogeneous world. وَمَا أَكْثَرُ النَّاسَ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Most people will not become Muslims, will not become believers. But can't we live with them? Can't we have them as neighbors? Yes. Co-workers? So we need to have that in mind. That the Prophet ﷺ was living in such a community, and he was able to accommodate all those people because you have a great aim, which is presenting Islam to them in an open-minded way. If you create enmity among people, they're not going to listen to you. You are a non-Muslim. You are najas. Go away from me. You are. So Islam is not that way. So this is a lesson that we learn from the Hijrah Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. When he came to Medina, he tried to unite the people around one identity, which is Islamic identity. Even if you are not a Muslim, you can be part of the Muslim state, and you share on the benefits from the Muslim state, as long as you fulfill your own commitments to that state. غفر الله لي ولكم وللمسلمين أجمعين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ونبيه